Hello once again, watchers of good TV. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my college dorm room. Now, today I am going to be talking about the How I Met Your Mother Season 8 finale, and well, not just the finale, just Season 8 in general, and then I'll talk about the finale episode after the credits like I've been doing for the last few videos. Just right off the bat, know that I will probably end up spoiling stuff from Season 8. I know I will be spoiling stuff from Season 8, and potentially stuff from Seasons 1 through 7. So, just know that right off the bat before you watch this, in case you haven't finished Season 8, or if you are watching this and you haven't seen the full extent of Seasons 1 through 7. Now, getting right into it, Season 7 ended with Ted and Victoria driving off into the sunset. It ended with Barney and Quinn getting engaged. And so these things kind of start off as they are. In the first episode, we see the aftermath of these. And very quickly, within like 5 or 6 episodes into the season, all these relationships flounder. They all end up ending. Quinn and Barney break up. Ted and Victoria break up. And then Robin and Nick break up. So, before even the mid-season finale, everyone is separate, and it's back to just the central characters of the show, with no outside relationships happening. Then, diving right into the mid-season finale, we have Barney proposing to Robin, which I thought was done in a really good manner. I really like how the 5 episodes leading up to that were all planned by Barney as a way to propose to Robin. It was just a really clever format for how he did it. I thought that the aftermath of that was really well done. You see Ted have to make a huge decision whether or not he's going to let his best friend marry what he thinks to be the love of his life. And yeah, it was just overall a really good mid-season finale. And I really did enjoy it. Now, moving on to the second half of Season 8, we see Barney and Robin engaged. They're together, and they basically deal with a bunch of the wedding stuff. And that gradually leads into the season finale, which I won't talk about here. I'll talk about at the end of the video after the credits. So, know that overall, with Barney and Robin, I thought that they did a really good job. They showed a lot of the different conflicts and problems that they would have to deal with as an engaged couple, and they made it seem like a really realistic situation. And I just thought that the show did a really good job with it. In terms of Ted, I thought that they did a really good job with him in terms of showing him still dating these random women, not random, but women, and then he's still looking for his wife. And after I don't even remember who it was, but after the girl who ended up throwing out all of his stuff out the window, he kind of decides he's not going to just keep looking for some random person. He almost gives up all hope, and we see this in the finale, which I can't talk about yet. That we see that Ted still has these obvious feelings for Robin, even up to the penultimate episode, and it's just really interesting to see him struggling with that, and yet have to deal with still being Barney's best friend, and just seeing the conflicts that go along with that. Now with Marshall and Lily, they basically are just dealing with Marvin. As far as I remember, they don't have any real big episodes that really define them. Marshall has applied for judgeship, which is a really interesting thing, and we see this in one episode is really where it shows up, and it comes about a little bit later too. One big thing for Lily is that she starts working for the captain, and she gets back into her art profession. She's starting to stray away from the kindergarten teacher profession, and she moves into what she originally wanted to do with her life, which is a really cool thing to see, and will be really interesting to see how that works out in Season 9, which is supposed to be the final season, which I'm sure it will be the final season. So that is essentially all of the main characters and what they dealt with in season 8. I really enjoyed the season. I didn't really have any issues with it. I've come to know what to expect with How I Met Your Mother. All the seasons kind of work in the same type of fashion. And yeah, overall, really nice season, and I cannot wait for the finale, season 9. So yeah, like I said before, I will talk about the finale episode, which I just watched after the credits in about a minute. So stay tuned to that if you want to hear my thoughts on that. So yeah, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I would appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell, and as always, keep on watching.
For once in my life, I got someone who needs me.
Now, if you're still watching, you are here to see me talk about my thoughts on the finale to season 8 of How I Met Your Mother. This is a really big episode for a number of reasons. We have Lily and Marshall setting up, getting ready to move to Rome. Marshall gets a call from the place that he applied for judgeship and is offered the position. And we see towards the end of the episode that he has apparently accepted the offer, and that would have caused him to have to remain in New York City while Lily moves to Rome to pursue her art critic thing. So it'll be really interesting to see how that works out, and I'm sure that will be dealt with in the first 1 or 2 episodes of season 9. Now, we have also the wedding of Barney and Robin, which doesn't actually happen at the end of the season like I thought it was going to. We have them basically devising against a couple to try it, just because they took their table and they see that we see kind of their similarities and how they really go together really well. And so it wasn't really a huge episode for Barney and Robin, to be frankly honest. It was more of a big episode for Ted, if anyone else, because we have Ted who is hanging out with Lily in his house that he's been redesigning for, I guess, the whole season or 2. He's got it all set up and he's going to sell it because he's moving to Chicago. And his reasons for this, he says, are because the love of his life is not in New York City. He's going to try out Chicago, see if he can find her there. Lily makes the assumably correct assumption that the reason that he's doing this is because he has found what he believes to be the love of his life, but his love is marrying Barney. So the love of his life would be Robin. And he's kind of running away from that whole thing. He doesn't want to deal with it. Lily and Marshall would be moving to Italy, and Barney and Robin would be married, and they would be together. He'd be kind of on the outskirts of everything. And we still, like I said before, Ted still has hope that there is a slight possibility of Robin and him happening, just because he has the locket that she was looking for. Lily tells him where it is, and the warning that she gives him towards the end of the episode when he goes out to find this locket is a very good one. She tells him to be careful, and that's a very good thing, because if he gives her this locket at the wedding, either before or after she's married, it could pose big problems, because Robin was already having doubts about Barney, and this could just inflame those doubts even further. So yeah, and then the big reveal at the very end of the episode, we see the mother. It wasn't exactly who I was picturing. I don't know, we don't know anything about this person yet, so I think we've seen her supposedly at least once so far in the series. At one point, I don't recognize her, but it'll be very interesting to see how Ted ends up meeting her. Obviously, it's at the wedding of Barney and Robin at some point somehow, and just seeing how she's accumulated into the group. And what I'm assuming will be the series finale would be Ted proposing to this girl, but it's really hard to know. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the finale of season 8, and like I said before, I'm really excited to see what season 9 has to offer. It will be the final season of this series, and it should be a good one, because it's going to be tying up everything, and this show, in my opinion, has been kind of the Friends of this generation, so it should be a really big thing to to witness. Let me know what you thought of the season itself in the comments below. Like, favorite, comment, or subscribe if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Pell, and as always, keep on watching.